Good day, everyone. I'm going to show you how to create the database for Courtney's video rental company, the assignment. Notice her company rents both video games and rents movies as well. That will be important in just a minute as we get started. You'll see. Okay, so let's begin. Click on the Start button. Go to the Access program here, and for a file name you have to save it before you even begin. So I'm going to call this Courtney's video and movie rental. Now, no commas or no or apostrophes or anything or periods in your document name. So be sure of that. Just regular words, no special characters. And then call it as part of the name. Put your name. I'm going to put R. Campbell as part of the name, so you all know who it is when I get it. Okay, now click on the file folder, the browse file folder, and you can navigate to where you want to save it. I'm saving mine on my desktop in the Access Assignment file folder, and there it is. I'm going to save mine right there. And now I don't care where you save it, just remember where you saved it so you can find it later. Alright, let's click on the Create button, and we are going to create a table, and you will go to the View button and go down to Design View. We're going to create a table in Design View. Now, she has two things that she rents: movies and video games. The first one we're going to do is the movie rental table. So I'm going to name this table Movie rental table, and click OK. Now I have to create the field names for the database. The first field I create is the key field. That's the one field that's unique, and in this case it will be the ID number of the movie. So since this is a movie rental, I'm going to call it movie rental ID number. Now the number will be both letters and numbers. So I'm going to press the Tab key. So for the data type, I don't want to click just numbers, because if I do that it won't accept the data. Since it's both letters and numbers, I have to choose text. Okay, no description, tab. And the next field I need is the movie name. And I'll press Tab, and that's text, so I'll leave that alone. Tab. And the next field I need, is it DVD or Blu-ray? Tab, and that's text, so I'll press Tab again. Then the next field will be quantity in the store, and that will be a numeric field. Tab to the next, and then I need to know number out on rental. Tab, and that's going to be a number field. Tab, and then I need to know the date purchased, and that's a date field, so I'll click on here and make that a date field. Tab, and the last field is number of late returns, and Tab, and that's a numeric field. Okay, I now want to check to make sure. My notes say I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fields, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fields. Okay, do check that. You can add on later, but it's a pain. Okay, click Close to close that database, and at this point we will click Save Changes, yes. And we now have a movie table. Now, as I told you, we're also going to be renting out video games. So we want to create a new table as well for the video games. So I'm going to click on the Create button, and I'm going to come over to, it looks like I never go to Home table. Let me see. Hold on a second. I want to create. Click on the Create tab. Sorry about that. Click on the Create tab and come down to Table in Design View. So I want to create a new table in Design View. Click on the Create tab. Click on the Table in Design View. Now, the field names I need here are, I'm going to be renting out video games. So the first field name I'm going to put is video game ID number. And again, in this one, I'm going to have both letters and numbers in the ID number. So I'm going to choose this and choose text. Because if I choose the number field, it's not going to work because they're both letters and numbers in the ID. So I'll click on text. All right, tab, tab. And the next field I need is video game title, tab, and that's also text, tab, tab. And I have quantity in the store, tab, and that's going to be a number field, so I'll click number, and then tab, tab. Next thing I need is number out on rental, tab, and that's going to be number field. I'll change that to number. And go tab, tab again, and then I'll have late returns, tab, and that will be a numeric field, number, and then tab, tab, and then I'll put down date or purchase, tab, and that will be a date field, so I'll click on here and choose date. Now, it's essential that you right now understand that you must have a key field identified, and right now I do not have a primary key field identified. The key field is going to be the ID number, so I'll click on the ID number field, and when it lights up, there's a little yellow square there. I'm going to click on the primary key button up above, and notice it puts a little gold key beside the game number. That is my unique field. So I'm now going to click close, and it says, do you want to save it? Now click yes. Now I want to name this table the video rental table. And click OK. Whoops. OK. Wait a second. Sorry about that. My wife's cat just walked across my keyboard, and everything, I guess, is still okay. I hope so. Anyway, so now I have a table to enter data for movies, and I have a table to enter data for video rentals. Okay. In fact, I'm going to right-click on that and change the name of that. See if I can. I wanted to change the name. It's not letting me. Oh yeah, here it is. Rename. And instead of video rental, I think I'll call it video game. Video game rental. It sounds, now it's more different from the one above. Okay, let's enter the movie rental information that we have. I'm going to double-click on that. There it goes. Okay, this is very important. I'm going to be looking to grade you on this. You've got to be able to read all the field names. So I'm going to have to widen these as necessary so all the data will fit in. Here we go, movie name, DVD or Blu-ray, widen it so it fits. Quantity in the store, got to make sure it's wide enough. Number, whoops, so sorry about that. Number out on rental, and date of purchase. I'll have to widen that. I have to move this over a little bit, and there we go, right there. And number of late returns. Some of these are a little tricky to get them just wide enough. So there we go, number of late returns. There we go. Okay, so let's now, at this point I am just setting the table up. I'm not actually entering data yet. So the first thing you do when you open your table is to make sure there's enough room for all these things to appear. And there is one more thing Okay. I'm going to make sure I have the game title on here. It's hard to see when you have to scroll so far across. So everything I need is here. All right, so I'm now going to click the close box, and it says, you sure you want to save the changes? I'll click yes. Okay, now the table is ready to enter data. Remove the cat again. All right, and so I'm going to double click on movie rental table, and now I can enter the data. Here we go. So the first movie that I need to enter is MR for movie rental 123. Tab, the movie name is Gone Home. And it's a DVD, and I have 23 in the store. I have 12 out on rental, and I've had 1 late return. And whoops, I'm sorry, date. Whoops, I entered the wrong data. Whoops, hold on a second here. The number out on rental is, okay, 12. Date purchased. Okay, I gotta fix that. Okay, date purchased is 2/4/2013. Press tab, and number of late returns are 3. So did you notice when I tried to enter something incorrect, I tried to enter a number in the date purchase column, and it said, hey, that's not a number. There's supposed to be a date, and so I had to fix it. Okay, press the tab and enter another one. So the next movie I have purchased is MR from movie rental. It was number 467, and the name of that is Space Invaders, and that's a Blu-ray. Oh, I gotta spell it right, B-L-U-R-A-Y. If you spell it wrong, it will cause a problem later. Okay, I have 32 in the store, and I have 9 out on rental. The date I purchased it was 4/6/2013, tab, and I've had 2 late returns. Press tab, and I could continue on entering data this way, but I don't like that because it's too wide a field to have to work with. I would rather do this by creating a form. So let me close out of the database here, for the table, and I'm now going to go to the create button, and I'm going to create form over here where it says forms. Create form. And now it gives you a sample form. Now listen, do not type data in here. This is not a form to type data on. We're simply preparing the form to enter data. You can tell that because there's this big orange box on here. So I'm going to move the orange box and move it narrower. I don't need that much space for my data. So there we are. Now, as long as this looks okay to me, and it does, I'm going to click the close box, and it says, do you want to save changes? And I'll click yes, I do. And I want to call this the movie rental data entry form, because it's a form, and click OK. Notice I have a form that appears right here, and now instead of entering data like right now, if I try to enter the data, I've got to go across this form, and it's so awkward to deal with. Instead, I'm going to enter by clicking on the Forms button. There we are, and I've already entered two records already, and you can move through Gone Home and then Space Invaders and whatever. To enter a new one, I can just go to the third blank record, or just simply when you go to the Home tab and click on the, I guess I'm already on a new record, let's say. You go to the, if you're in Forms, go to Home and click on New. And now here's a new blank record. So let me enter a couple of records this way. You find it's a lot easier. So this is MR from Movie Rental 596. And the movie's name is Going West. And it's a DVD. And I have 34 in the store. I have 12 out on rental. And I purchased it on 5/5/13. tab, and I've had 2 late returns. And so I can, if I want to enter another one, I press the tab key and I can enter another one. But I'm done right now, so I'm going to click close. And I'm going to close out of this movie rental table as well. Click close on that. Okay, now I'm now going to go to the video game rental table. And I haven't entered any data in the video games, but I'm going to do that now. So when you open the table the first time, you have to widen the columns so you can read all of the data. Again, I will be grading on this. You must create your databases properly so that others can read them as well. You may know what the cutoff columns mean, but somebody else will not, and it's a very bad thing not to have the data done properly. So make sure you have your titles properly done. It's important. All right, now that I've got everything set up, I'm going to click the close box and it says Save Changes Yes. Okay, now I'm ready to enter the data. So I'm going to go to the movie rental table. Whoops, I guess I did movie rental. The video game rental is what I wanted to enter into, video game rental. Okay, and again, I could enter the data here, okay, so I'll do that now. I'll just enter some video game data. And so that's VG for video game 1, 2, 3, and the game title is Kill Aliens. And I have 34 in the store, I have 21 on rental, and I've had 2 late returns so far, and I purchased it on 3/3/13 tab. Now I do the next one, VG for video game, and it's 341 tab. And I give you this information that I'm typing in, and this is Dragons Go Home. And I have 45 of those in the store. I've rented out 24 of them, and I've had 5 late returns, and I purchased it on 5/5/12 tab. And so again, I could keep entering data this way, but I don't like to do it on the big wide form. So I'm going to click close. And what I'm going to do now is close out of this. And this time, I want, for the video game rental table, I want to create a new form for that. So with that highlighted, I'm going to go up to Forms. And it gives me a form in which to enter data. But again, this is a setup form. You can't enter data on this. And I can tell because I have this orange box here. And I'm going to click and drag that and make it narrow. I don't need the columns to be that wide. So I'm going to just narrow it up like that. Now, again, this is just setting the form up. That's all. And now I'm going to click the close box. And you want to save changes? Yes. Now I'm going to call this the video game data entry form, and I'll click OK. All right, now notice I now have 4 objects. I have a movie rental table and a movie rental data entry form, and I have a video game rental table and a video game data entry form. So if I need to add more data, and I want to add a few more in this video game one, to do that, I just, on the Home tab, I just click on New, and I'm all set. And I'm going to call this VG 456 tab. Video game title is Racing Home. And I have 45 in the store. I have 21 out on rental. I have 4 late returns, and I purchased it on 6/6/13. There we go. Now I'm going to enter one more. Now watch this one carefully. VG for video game 1, 2, 3, and video game title is Racing Cars. And I have 34 in the store, and I have 2 out on rental, and I've had 1 late return, and I purchased it on 4/4/2012. And now watch when I enter this data. I press Tab to get to the next one, and it gives me an error box. Now it says the changes requested to the table were not successful because they would create duplicate values in the index key, primary key, or relationship, and change the data, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, Access is full of nonsense nonsense like this. Instead of giving you a meaningful dialog box, they give you gibberish. If I was writing the software in the dialog box because of this error, I would have simply said, hey, you entered a duplicate game number. Enter the right one. That's what they should have said, because I purposely entered, I'm going to click OK on this, I purposely entered VG123 because I've already used it to show you what would happen, that if you have an error in entering entering the same number twice. So it's not going to accept it, and worse yet, it makes it miserable to get out of it. So unless you know what's wrong. So I'm going to fix this. I'm going to make that 129, and it will accept it. And tab, 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 and it accepted the data. Okay, so there you have it. I've shown you how to open up a database. And one thing I want to show, I might have shown you, and I don't want to forget. When you open your database the first time, make sure you click on All Access Objects, and make sure you have Object Type checked and All Access Object Type. If I've shown you this before, it's important I show it to you again, because otherwise you can create tables and reports and you can't find them because those were not checked off. Okay, so that's it. I have another video coming up on how to do reports and queries in your database. So good luck with this. Give me a call if you need any help. Okay, thank you all very much, and good luck.